Hi friends, I get asked a lot of questions, but I've noticed I haven't been asked anything on COVID-19 and what did the spirit world say about it. And I don't know why that is. I think because people have just been so immersed in it. But here's the thing, this is what I get. Right, as spiritualist mediums and others who are constituted the same way I am, get on the same platforms I get on and do the same work that I do or profess to, they have gone into isolation. They have followed all the social memes, they've followed the codes and the statutes, acts and regulations to the letter, and they have advised people to do the same because they have a quote unquote following, right? But I cannot, in all this happening, find anywhere in all my communications with the spirit world and that which created me, where any message has come back and said, go into isolation, stay away from your family, put on a mask. Friends, you've got to really question where this is coming from and where you are in this. Are you full of fear? Someone who works and walks and talks with the spirit doesn't have the fear of the mob, the fear of the great populace, what other people think and what they believe. And beliefs are what destroy things, don't forget. Right? You either know or you don't know. And as a spiritualist, you have an inbuilt, it comes with the product, if you like, an inbuilt gnosis that you don't get from a book or sitting in an ashram for 3 years in India or standing on 1 foot, for God knows how long. For what purpose, right? Here's the thing. You have instant enlightenment within yourself, and you need to engage that more now than ever. You need to embrace your spirit guides, friends and helpers, and those who've gone before you, and listen to what they say. And mediums who tell you to lock yourself away and follow the official narrative on these things, they are part of the problem. So they can never be part of the solution. And if what I'm saying to you chimes with you in some way, then we're making progress, because there's no threat from COVID-19 to anyone. The numbers don't stack up. If you want to look at all the science and the facts and all those kind of things, please do so. But we all know, don't we, deep down, that it's a hoax, right? No one's really dying of it. So you go through your contact list and all the people that you know and you've ever known. How many have actually died purely of COVID? Kids die every year of flus and colds and all kinds of things. The elderly do. Illness and belief in God and the pharmaceutical business, whatever you want to pin up as a label there on your spiritual notice board, none of these things are insurance agents or insurance policies against catastrophe. So you got to keep the lunacy focused. You got to put it to one side where it belongs, certainly not on the path in front of you. As Jesus said, let those who have ears listen. Let those who have eyes look. Now there's a difference between hearing and listening. I choose what I listen to from amongst what I hear. I can see a lot of things, but I choose to look at something in particular. So it's not about seeing and hearing. It's about looking and listening. You have within you the tree of knowledge and the tree of life. And the fruit of it is that you instantly know and instinctively know the difference between right and wrong. So what's gone wrong now? Do you really think that people are dying? That people are falling ill of this condition? So let's cut to the chase. I said to God, like you can. And I said to my spirit guides, friends and helpers and all those who've gone before. And if I may be indulged for a second, right? I have a reputation as being a good medium. Forgive me for saying that. When I ask the spirit world about all this, I just get the word hoax. I get the word fear and fake, and that it's all manufactured by lower entity spirits who inhabit the earth and have control over us. on the earth. Spirits of error, as Jesus calls them. A bit like the ones to whom he said, you would have no power over me if it wasn't given to you by God. And they have a power over us, and they'll do anything to keep their power because they're psychopathic. They're going to be discovered any minute now, sort of thing. That's the world of fear in which they live. And the more they can distract you with things like this, then the longer they get to keep their system going. And it's a system of evil. It's a material system. And that's why spiritualism is a poison in their nest. They don't like it. We are the glitches in the matrix, if you like. We are injected into their nest, into this horrible material world, to be good and to stand our ground and to speak the truth and to embrace each other. And they hate it when we love each other and when we have contact with each other and when we enjoy our lives. They hate that. That to them is destruction for their world. There is only one God. There's only one creator, one human race, one universe, in spite of what string theory and all that rubbish comes out with, but we won't go into that either. So what's the problem? Well, the problem is when you've got organizations and systems of evil that want to undo that which is within us all. And that which is within us all is what saves us, because we are creatures who are social. Everyone wants to be good and to have a good life, with the exception of a tiny, tiny minority who have a disproportionate power over the vast, vast majority of us. And that's what you're seeing. So you're trying to get through your day. How does all this apply? You're thinking, well, it's all very fine. It's coming out with all this big stuff on different stratas and dimensions and entities and all that. How does that apply to me? Well, here's how it applies to you. You just take care of your world. The world that you know. The ones you see, the people you're with, so that's your family, your friends, your work colleagues or whatever, and be good in the world, that part of the world that you navigate. And if everyone did that, then evil cannot prevail. And really, that's part of the reason why we're here. We're here to cleanse the world. And what you're seeing is a poison and an infection and a cancer. With determination, you can stand up to it. And all you've got to do, friends, is not take to the streets and all that sort of stuff. It's just to simply be good. And as Jesus did, lead by example. You know deep down that the children you gave birth to, the people in your family that you love and your friends, right? There's nothing can come between that relationship that you have. One with each other and with the greater world around you, with the animals and nature and the sun, the moon, the stars, right? And the creatures of the sea. We are all in a biosphere, but we are spirits living within it. So, why don't we all just get along? Well, as I've already said, there are those who hate it when we get along with each other. And you see them in your own life, don't you? You always have one or two poisonous people around you who have mischief in their hearts. And that's what you're seeing. And it's traded on fear. And they try to place within you a fear. They have a fear stratagem. They don't always understand it themselves. But there are people who globally control us, who have that same disposition. You might want to listen to me or what I'm saying. You might think I'm talking absolute rubbish, and that's entirely up to you. I don't really care. I'm talking to those who have ears, who want to listen, not hear, but want to listen. And this is the truth. And I've lived my life this way, and I've never come unstuck. I live by an example. I'm not expecting everyone to have the exact same example, and it's not my example either. It's the example that was set down by Jesus and by the masters of light, the prophets, the saints, the martyrs, all those who've gone before, who tried to bring heaven closer to earth and suffered for it. And one of the things of error that people misunderstand is they think, Well, have I got to go through all that? No, you haven't. Others have gone through it for you so that you don't have to. Again, don't hear, listen. Listen to what's being said, not what you think is being said. So if you hear of family and friends and those on the other side and the spirit guides and helpers and Antari star beings, or whoever they are you consider, you hear these people in touch with and they're passing these messages on about how we must follow some kind of official narrative or anything that even comes close to following the official narrative on all this, then you know there is straight away a lie. There's nothing wrong in the world other than error and evil itself. COVID is merely the latest vehicle, the latest tool in their armory to deny you your freedom and that which puts you at one with your family, your friends, and that which created you. All right, I hope I've inspired you into a deeper thinking about things or give you something to think about. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time.